Okay, today we're going to talk about shoes. Okay, here we have Lexi wearing one of the shoes we just made. It's made with some vintage fabric. I'm going to make a dress out of the rest of it to match. These are some little red ones I made with also some dress material, that kind with the bonded on sequin kind of things. Okay. So we're going to go through the stages of making our shoes. In the pattern, which you get with your soles, it says use interfacing, which is a good idea because the shoe without the interfacing is a little soft. But I didn't have any, so we're going to make one without. Start with your pattern, pick out your material and your lining. You will need lining in most cases. You might be able to get away with felt, but the pair I tried was really soft. Okay, so the first step, cut out two of your fabric and two of your lining. Sew it together around like shown here, like in the pattern. Then you want to clip this without clipping your seam, of course. My sewing skills was sewing for the kids when they were little, but when my daughter graduated, we had her dress made. So my skills qualify as adequate. Okay, once you get that done, then you're going to sew the back edges together. Lay it flat like this. Match the seams, because if you don't, you'll have a jag at the heel. And one thing I did learn about sewing, you can never have too many pins. Okay, so then we get to the next stage. You fold it over. Make sure, see, I got a little goof there. Shows some lining, but make sure you get them folded up nicely and iron it in place if you can. Then sew the bottom edge together. This is to keep everything in place while you're putting it together. The next thing I do is take a little gather around the toe. It's not necessary in a lot of cases. You can work it in, but it does help some. So I intended to do this before I started, and of course I forgot, so I'll just sew a little quickie here. Just a little running stitch right at the toe. The smaller stitches you take, the better, of course, not the big honking ones. Okay, that's about all you need. Now, about your soles. The first thing you want to do, you'll have 4 of these, of course, to make 2 shoes, is to make sure they're mates. You want the paper side together so that they match. You know, if your toes are going in opposite directions, you're in trouble. So make sure they match. Okay, now you want the foam side up and the glue side down. So I'm just going to peel a little bit of this off the back here. Sometimes it wants to be stubborn. You can take the whole thing off, but I find I get fingerprints and stick, and then it gets dirty and it doesn't want to stick well. Whoops. Is that right? Yeah, this way. Okay. Stick it down at the heel. I always start at the heel. Stick it down there. Peel your paper a little more. And start, you want just that little bit of hem inside there. You don't want that edge sticking out, but you don't want to put too much under or your shoe will be too small. So just keep sticking it down as you go. Peel your paper back. Keep it there to hold on to. Just both sides around. Pull your toe in and press it down. Try to keep it smooth around the edge. This will take you a little coordination getting used to this part, but it's really not bad once you get the hang of it. Okay, that's pretty well stuck. Didn't really need the gather thread. Cut that off. Okay. Now, the other thing you have to be careful of is when you put the other sole down, you have to be right the first time, because there is no changing your mind. So get it lined up. Make sure it's going to go down there right. Then press it down. You want thicker soles, you can put more layers down, but that works pretty good. And I have 2 left feet. What do you know about that? Well, I'd like to show you wearing it, but I have 2 left feet. Anyway, that's how you make the shoes. Pretty simple.